Hello, hello, hello. We're back. It's day 3. If you're here, please say hi. It's going to work today. It's working today. It is working today. If you're here, hello, hello. Okay, it's not quite working the way I want it to. Anyway, we will move on regardless. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. You are doing absolutely amazing. The things you are writing in the chat, bravo. You should all be giving yourself a pat on the back there. That is amazing what you've been doing and the cognitions that you would be making. You know, our brain has been wired to get us where we are right now. And if we don't start to rewire it like we already have our goal, we will still keep pumping out what we're doing right now. That's just the crux of it. So what we have to do is we have to rewire our subconscious mind. We have to rewire our subconscious mind so that we have the absolute belief that it's going to happen. There's no doubt, there's no disbelief, there's no worrying. It is just absolute faith. Because I want this, it's mine. We're going to do a card today. I have a thing that I tell my kids because I'm a Jeffrey and of course their last name is Hearn. So I say to my kids, you're a Hearn, aren't you? And they're like, yes. I said, well, and you've got Jeffrey blood in you? Yes. I said, well, you absolutely get what you want. Like it's just a given because who they were when they were born. Imagine if you were brought up like that and your parents just said to you, hello, your name's Jamie, isn't it? Yes. Hello, because your name is Jamie, you would get exactly what you want in life. So be very clear on what you want. And you would then be going, yeah, right. Okay, there's no doubt because this is who I am. Just like if I call your name, you are going to turn around and say yes. Or if 2 plus 2 is written on a piece of paper, you're just like, that is 4. There is no way. It cannot be. Here's something funny. And I know I got in trouble yesterday. Maggie told me off. She's like, Polly, you got off track a couple of times. I'm like, yeah, I know. Sorry about that. Anyway, has anybody seen that TikTok? I haven't seen it. The kids told it to me. What's 9 plus 10? And I'm like, what? 19? And the kids know it's 21, Mum. What? It's 21. And apparently it's something at their age group. And so I even rang people and said, what's 9 plus 10? They're like, oh, 21. I'm like, are you kidding? But they've been hardwired. And how did they get hardwired? Because they watched a TikTok. And not probably just once. They showed their friends and showed others and other people showed them and it just went around and around. Repetition. We learn from repetition. We retain things because of repetition. So the only way that you will not get what you want is if you stop thinking about it. If you stop coming from the place that you've already got it. And if you think about what, like you wrote down, you all wrote in the chat, well, most of you anyway, because we've got 55 people in the draw today. The draw is, you get a pack of my affirmation cards, plus I've got some props here today, my journal. That is writing gratitude, powerful statements that you need to remember about yourself, and also gratitude's your goal, personal and professional. That's what you can write in there. So I'm just shuffling this deck of my little cards here to give you one. I'm a money magnet comes up again, so we just got to go with it. We can't argue with the cards, okay? The cards tell the truth all the time. So first of all, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for still being here, for turning up each day, even if you're watching the replays. Play full out. Like when you get into the energy of something, like you think about if you got into the energy of if you're playing a football game or basketball or netball or whatever it is that you play, if you play anything, but if you get into the spirit of it, you're in with everybody. You're not listening to outside noises or anything like that. You are in the game. That's what you have to be with your goal. And the law of attraction states that you will attract to you whatever you internalize. Now, what does that actually mean? So we are thinking all the time. Thoughts are so powerful and they attract like thoughts. So if I am thinking about my goal, I will attract more and more thoughts about my goal. So spending a bit of time with your goal and what it is that you want, and knowing that when I spend some time with it, I'm going to get another thought that's going to help me get there, and another thought, and another thought, and another thought. And the longer I can sit there, the clearer the picture will get. But energy has to be transmuted. So you have got energy coming to and through you all the time. If we don't act, there's no reaction. Now, it doesn't mean that you've got to go out and work harder. It doesn't mean anything like that. Because it's not think and work harder and get rich. It's not think and manipulate people and get rich. And it's not think and overpower people and get rich. It's think and grow. So growing means, and you think about it, if you buy a plant and you plant it in the ground, you don't say, don't grow any further. You're planting it in the ground because you're seeing the vision of a tree, maybe, or of a bush with lots of flowers and something on it. You are seeing it in the form that you want it to be. So it's going to grow into that. That's what your goal is for you. You desire to express and expand. Your goal is for you to grow into that version that you want to be. So it could be the calmer version of you. It could be the more abundant version of you. It could be the more lovable version of you. Mine was to be the calm and responsive mother, wife, and business owner. And then once I got there, I was like, I need a bit more compassion, because I was pretty brutal with my kids and with some people. So I'm like, okay, I'm calm now, but I'm still just like, that means nothing. So I'm just sort of telling people that their feelings mean nothing and those sorts of things. And of course I was doing it for myself. So then my next goal was I need to be a bit more compassionate. So how do you do that? Well, I had no clue. So I found myself a compassion coach. So like, I'm always looking for mentors to help me get to that next stage of where I want to be. But you got to get your thinking right first. And am I right in thinking that you guys are all here because what you want in life isn't your reality just yet? If that is true for you, put yes in the comments. Like, yes, that is true. I want something that is not in my reality right now, and I want to learn how to bring it in the fastest way possible. I'm going to put yes in there too, because I'm always growing. Hi Eva, hey Claude, hi Christine, hi Jamie, Heidi, Sarah, Bridget, Andy, Jeanette, Kelly, Emma. Oh, hi Emma. Tina Graham, hello everybody. Well, we've got some yeses. Good. Because, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we're here to do. We are here to expand and express. So we expand and then we express that expansion. But we can't do it without acting. So action. You've got to take some action to get a reaction. So this body that you're in has to do something. And once you are in harmony with your goal, so you write your goal. In the bottom of my journals it says, now spend 5 minutes and ask for guidance. Like, so you see yourself in your goal, and then you just ask. There is a spiritual being that lives in you. You all understand that, yes? Like, there is a spiritual being in you, so that, and it has to be, because what happens when you die? And they've weighed it. It's like 27 grams or something like that leaves your body when you die. 27 grams. That's how heavy your spirit is. But your spirit is your guide. So you ask for guidance from yourself. You know where everything is, because you are everywhere. We are all connected. I believe that we're all one. We are all the same age. It's just this body that we're in is different. And we chose this body this time around so we could do different things than we did last time around, and we'll do next time around. So we chose this body with all the challenges that come with it. So you need to love this body because you chose it. You chose your parents, you chose your kids, you chose everything. Like I tell my kids, you chose me. If you don't like it, and Valentina does the same thing. If you don't like it, next time choose better. But you're stuck with me. So let's make the best of it. But I know that as a mother, I had to change because I had the same tendencies and the same belief system, and I was doing the same actions of all the things that I didn't like when I was growing up. And it's not that I was consciously doing them. It was already in me because I watched how I was parented. I watched how people around me parented. I watched movies on TV and I watched how there was all these dramas and stuff going on. So I just thought it was normal until I met some other families and I thought, oh my God, they actually want to spend time with their family. They're not running away on weekends, not wanting to be home and stuff like that. Oh, okay. What am I doing differently? What can I do differently? And so that was the picture that I created. This is what I want for my family. So knowing that the law of attraction is always working, then we have to look at, okay, what makes us act? And what makes you act is your thinking internalized. So whatever you think about, and then create a feeling about. So, and this can be negative or positive. Just know that there's no, and the law of attraction says, okay, hang on. Everybody, just stop what you're doing. Universe, stop, because Polly is thinking a negative thought. We are not going to give her back what she's thinking. It just says, oh, Polly's thinking this and she's feeling this. Let's give her more circumstances to feel that. And you've probably already all noticed this. So I want you to say yes if you've seen this happen in your life. Money is a little bit tight this week. And so you're thinking about, and this doesn't make me feel good at all, but anyway, I'll keep going with it. Money's a bit tight this week, and so you're thinking about how am I going to make everything, all these ends meet, and holy crap, like there's some stuff going on, like how did we get to this place, and why am I here, and all of these sorts of thoughts come along, and then the dishwasher shoots itself, and then maybe the washing machine goes on the blink, the television starts to get a bit crackly, the car just decides to stop or something, or you get a flat tire and you've got to get a new tire, and tires are like $300 or $400, and you're just like, holy shit. You set that up. And I know this because I've done it myself. You set that up because you are coming from that place of frustration or fear, or not understanding that the universe will always provide you exactly with what you're thinking. So you're thinking in these ways, and you go, holy shit, what else can go wrong? And then that's the worst thing that you can say, because then you will find out what else can go wrong. Then the pool pump will shit itself, and then something else will happen, and then who knows, then you have to go to the doctor or something like that, and it's going to be more and more and more added onto it. The thing you need to do in those sorts of situations is go and take a nap, or like I do, go fishing. Go and do something that takes you out of that whole thinking scenario, gets you out of that, and helps you change the state of being that you are. Does that make sense? Awesome. So understand, the universe doesn't understand that there's wrong or right, or yes or no, or negative or positive. It just gives you back. And it just says yes to whatever you are thinking and then feeling. So you think something and you feel it. So and our imagination is the most powerful thing that we have got going on. Now, before I learnt all about this and how my thoughts create my reality, and how I need to start to discipline my thinking and stop my imagination from running away in a different place, and pulling it in and disciplining my imagination to only think about and create pictures of what I want. You think about this scenario. Kids have a curfew. Should be home by 10 o'clock. By 10:05, you know what has already gone on in your head. The kids aren't answering a text. You're at the hospital, you're wanting to ring the police station, there is scenario after scenario that has been created, because that's how powerful our imagination is. And that's what we've been taught to do. I don't know how many times my mum used to go a little bit stir crazy when my sisters or something were not on time, or when I wasn't on time, or watching movies and then you see the bad stuff happen, so we go straight to that bad thing and we've created that whole picture, and you're just like, woo, and that has gone out so fast, and you're just like, holy shit. It was really quick that I got there. And so remember how I said yesterday that I was that one that would use my imagination the wrong way? So you got to start to bring that in and go, hang on a minute, whoa. Let's not play the what if game against myself. What if they're just having a really great time and they lost track of the time? Because kids aren't sitting there like parents are. It's 10:05. Where the hell are they? They should be here right now. I want to go to bed. They don't care. They're not like that. They're like out having fun. So play the what if game for yourself so that you can keep your state calm. They'll be fine. Everything always works out for me. They probably are learning something different, like to get a flat tire. Like that's something that's great. That's get a flat tire. They learn how to change it, or they ring you up, or maybe they just decided to have a drink and now they're waiting for somebody to drive them home. Or I've checked my phone before and there's been like 4 messages from kids who are like, Mum, I had a drink, any chance you can come pick me up because I can't drive? Like, there are a multitude of things that can happen. There are a whole, if we try and figure out the how and what is happening all the time, you will go crazy. So the what if game, a lot of people play it against themselves and come up with the worst case scenarios. Yes, it's great, as long as you don't get internally involved with it. So don't get emotionally involved with it. As soon as you internalize a thought and add emotion to it, that is it. It is part of your paradigm. It is part of the way that you think, because that's the highway to it. And it is so fast to get a negative belief happening. It is so easy to get a negative belief happening compared to a really positive and life-changing belief. There is work that you have to do with those sorts of beliefs. So trust me on that one, because I think you've all known that. Because if it was that easy, everybody would do it and we wouldn't have this problem. None of us would be here like this. So really think about that. Where am I playing that what if game against me? And where can I change it to play the what if game so that I actually win? And you see yourself winning, because that's what we're going to get into today. You've got to use your eyes and see yourself winning, and you've got to see yourself winning through your own eyes. So you've got to make up different scenarios. Those of you that have already done Thinking Into Results, lesson 2 and 3. It gets it all out for you. And it's the easiest tool. And the part that I love about that is you just keep going back to it. Okay, I'm making up this story. It's not helping me. I don't feel good. Let's just get that story out on paper. And then do the rest of the exercises in those lessons. They will help you immensely. You are in charge of you. Don't try and control anybody else. Don't try and tell anybody else what to do until you've got you in control. Discipline your thinking. You know what though? The best way to learn something is to teach it. So if you just get one little nugget from anything out of these 5 days and the next 2.5 days, and you got Monday too, but if you just get one little nugget and you think, oh, that would change my life, and I know somebody that it can change their life in, teach it to them. Run it through your whole body. Say it. When you say something out, it actually vibrates through your bones, goes out there, comes back through your ears, and comes back in again. Amazing thing. This is why book club, we always read books out loud. If I read a book now, I read it out loud. Craig and I read together most mornings. We read a book out loud to get it into us. Because if this is not who I am, like my name, chances are I'm going to revert back to my old ways, because it's such a ingrained highway. Think about it. I did 43 years before I did this way. So it's easy just to turn that ship around and go back that way. It's really easy. But the only thing that I have then is I have the realization that I know that what I think about comes about. So that is never going to help me. And once you've really learned something and you know it in your core, you can't unlearn it, especially when it's going to help you. So you can have absolutely anything you want, anything that you can create a desire for. You will probably not be able to create a desire for something that you cannot have. Like me, I use the idea that I will not be a slam dunk basketballer. I do not have the desire to do that. And I can't build the desire because it's not physically possible for me unless I create some boots or jump on a trampoline or something like that. I am 5'2". It is not going to happen for me. So understand that if you can build a desire, so that means that it is, you want it more than your life that you've got going on right now. If you can build a desire, you can have it. But you are going to have to change first. Change really is the name of the game. And the only way that you will start to step out and actually make change is first you've got to make a committed decision. You've got to commit that I'm going to do this and I'm going to keep going until I get it. Remember what I said yesterday? I always win because I don't stop until I win. It took me 3 years to manifest that Porsche. I just kept writing it every day. I listened to it. I have a couch here. This is why I have this couch here, because I lay down. I have things that I listen to. I have myself talking to myself. And I listen to it and I tell myself over and over again what it is that I want. I write it. I have lines here that I write each day. I write out scenarios the way I want them to be. And then I get in harmony with that. And then there's another thing here. I want just to read this to you. This book, if you haven't already read it, Power of Awareness, Neville Goddard. You have to get the version that's got the awakened imagination, because this is out of the coin of heaven. Your speech is one of the most important things that is either going to help you or stop you from having what you want. So man attracts what he is. Are you negative or are you positive? Are you happy or are you a victim? Like, ask yourself these questions and don't beat yourself up about it. We just didn't know some of these things until now. But look at your life and just go, have I become a victim of my life or am I creating it? Like, am I really creating it here? The art of life is to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled and let things come to you. Not to go after them or think that they flee away. Now, how many of you make a decision that I'm going to go after this, and then you try and force other people to do it, because if it doesn't happen today, then I don't know if it's going to happen? I've done it. And I even read this. When I was going on that cruise, I had to get, it was 31,000 or something the first month, and so I was like, I'm going to sell my Lexus. That's going to help me immensely, and I was trying to force it down somebody's throat. They didn't buy it. But I did the money the other way because I realized, this doesn't feel good. When it doesn't feel good, I know that I'm out of alignment, so I'm not in harmony with my goal, so I'm not going to get it. I have to stop. What am I doing? Where am I right now? Who am I being right now? I'm being somebody that comes from lack. I'm being somebody that hasn't got faith. I'm being somebody that doesn't believe that it will happen unless I force. Because that's who I used to be, trying to force my people around me to do things and force myself to do things. So they're not going to go away. You attract to you. Now, this is really important. Observe your inner talking and remember your aim. So observe what you're saying to yourself and remember your goal. Do they match? Do what I say to myself, inside myself, match what I would be saying to myself when I have my goal? Remember what I read out yesterday? I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a winner. You've got to start to do these things now. And no matter what the circumstances, because circumstances are going to probably go a bit pear-shaped before they go up. And the reason that is because you don't know how long the law of attraction is going to take. You don't know how long things take to manifest. So thoughts that you had yesterday or last night are still working out. Like feelings that you've had, they're still coming through. So this is where persistence really pays off. You have to persist. And what's one of the easiest ways to persist? Create a picture. Get a picture so clear on what you're going after and fuse with it. So this is what today is all about. You really need to know that if you don't have a picture, how can you give that idea to somebody else? How can you impress it on the universe to say, please give me this, when you don't have it for yourself? Now that picture can be a car, that picture can be a house, that picture can be a lifestyle, that picture can be all sorts of things. You have to have a vision board. And how update is it? Did you do one 10 years ago? I know I found one. I was up in my office the other day, my old office, and I found my old vision board. And it's got my Porsche on there. It's a different colour, but I chose a better colour than the one that I had on there. And it's got some things that have already come true. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I should take a photo of this. So I'm going to go up there again today and take a photo of it and just show like what I had on my vision board back in like 2019 and 2020. So you've got to create a vision for yourself so that you can get in harmony with it and see it through your own eyes. And Maggie is going to send you today and email you a visualization that I take people through. And I want you to sit there and do the visualization and make it a practice. Make it a practice for yourself that this is what I'm going to do each day. Set yourself up for success because your energy is so important. And I want you to think about when you write your goal, what are the thoughts that come? Are they goal orientated, or are they how, or are they, oh, well, I've tried that before in the past, and I've tried this before, and this didn't work, and that didn't work, and is it taking you off track? Is your thinking taking you off track? Or is your thinking expanding the idea? Like, really understand some of these things. Now, what you want is not going to happen by you trying harder, doing more hours at work and slogging away and being in this energy of not being at your goal and it's not here yet and pushing and doing the work. It's not going to work. You have to come from. You have to get up there, be up there, stay up there as much as you can. And then when you get an idea of what action to take, you take immediate action. You've made it, and this is where decision making comes in. You make a decision to go after your goal, you have to take immediate action. And that could be any number of things. It could be that you ring up your accountant and set an appointment, like I'm going to start this business and da. Or you ring somebody and say, okay, this is my idea, or I want to change professions and I do this, or I sign up for this course. But you have to take action within 24 hours. If you don't, your conditioning, your paradigm, your program will talk you out of it. It will start to whittle it down, and it will even get you to make your goal smaller. Oh, maybe that's just a little bit big. Maybe we should just halve that. Come on, Paul, really? You want to do that? That might take a bit of work. No. We probably haven't got enough time anyway. Let's just bring that down a little bit. Let's just make it a little bit smaller. And you've got to go, no, this is what we're doing. Commit to it. Commit to this. And you've got to decide which habit is going to change. And it could be a thinking habit. It could be that I'm just going to sit with my goal for 20 minutes each day and I'm going to visualize and I'm going to sit down and write down the ideas. And every single day I'm going to take action on one of those ideas. I don't know what it is for you. It's got to feel great to you though. Really successful people are the people that love what they do on a daily basis. It doesn't feel like work because they love it. Now I've seen in my career that you can have two people, got the same training, got the same skills, know the same stuff, both start a business in the same demographic. So you couldn't say, oh, well, they started in a bad area and they started in a good area. No, same. One just goes amazingly. The other one, within 5 years, it's gone. This one loved what they did every day. They were doing it for a reason and they had a vision in mind for the future, not just the here and now. This other one, I really don't know because I wasn't working with them. But this one I know because we work together and that's where you're going. You have to be so clear and know exactly where you're going. And when you make a committed decision, you don't just make it today. You make it today, and then maybe at 3 o'clock again today, and then maybe 5 o'clock, and then tonight when you go to bed, then tomorrow morning, and then every single day until it's here. You don't give up. You may tweak it, but you don't give up. I'm just gonna say hello again just so I can see if there's anything in the chat that I need to look at. Oh, good, Claude. All right. So the other thing I want you to think about with your inner speech, are you talking about your goal not being here? Now this is a really, really eye-opener here. Say you've got a goal of $10,000 in your bank account, and somebody says, how's it going? You're like, oh, well, yeah, well, I had this setback and I had this. No. Now, some people will go to you, oh, this has just been a liar. This has just been fake. This is just, you have to act as if and use that speech and make it match like it was in your goal. Like you would be saying in your goal. It's going bloody amazing. It is so cool. And you have to get into that energy. You stay in that energy, that absolute faith. You have to have that absolute faith. Now, I want to tell you a little story. Some of you have heard this. Some of you are new here and you haven't heard it. So in 2019, I'd just started this business. I'd gone to Toronto. I'd done a training with Bob. I was in his inner circle. And then when I was at that training, I signed Craig and I up to the Matrix. I said, we're going to the Matrix. He says, okay, what is that? And I said, I don't know, but we're going to go. Bob's teaching it. I told you, well, I'm going to do as much as I can with this fella because he actually makes sense and he just explains everything so easy for me. So we're going to go over there and do the Matrix. So the Matrix is you come up with a goal and you take your goal to the 100 other people in the room and they all give you their business cards and want to help you. That's essentially what happened in the 6 days. While I was at the Matrix, just before we went, my daughter comes up to me, my middle daughter, and she says, Mum, I think I want to go to boarding school. I'm like, oh, okay. When are we going? She's like, next year. So this is in November. And I said, okay, do you have an idea of where you want to go? Yep, I've picked the school. I said, all right, let's just pick 3, pick another 2. Can you organise it all, get the paperwork, whatever we have to do, and when I come back, we'll go down to Adelaide and we'll suss them out and see if the one that you picked is the right one. She's like, okay, cool. So I went to Toronto, came back, she'd done all the paperwork, and because you have to pay to go and check out places and have visits and stuff. So we've done all that, we've gone to the 3 schools, and she's chosen the one. So as we're walking around this one, I'd rung them back up and said, okay, Hannah has chosen your school. Like we've done the tour and everything. Hannah's chosen your school, so we'd like to enroll for next year. This is in November, right? I've never done boarding school before, so I have no clue how these private schools work. I've lived in Catherine most of my life. And they said, are we thinking like next January? Like not this one coming up, the next one? I'm like, oh, no, this one. They're like, do you get that there's a waiting list? I'm like, oh, is there? No, I've never done this before. They said, well, there's about an 18-month waiting list. So, like, we can put her on the waiting list for next year, but the chances of her getting a place, like, we're what, 6 weeks out or 8 weeks out from school starting? I'm like, okay, put her on the list. Put her on the list. And I've got off the phone and Hannah said, and because before we went, Hannah said, Mum, what if the right place doesn't have spots for me? And I said, the right place will have a spot for you, Hannah, don't worry about it. Anyway, I get off that phone, I'm like, oh, okay, right. Oh well, this is time to start this up. Let's get visualizing, Hannah. She's like, what? I said, okay, so what you have to do, you have to decide where you're going to be. So in grade 11 in the boarding house had units and they were in a U shape, and there was like 4 bedrooms in each unit. So you'd have 4 girls in a room sharing a bathroom. And then grade 12 they went out into houses. So I said, pick a room and start seeing yourself in it. Start seeing yourself go to sleep in that bed. Start seeing yourself wearing the uniform. Start seeing yourself having that hat on. Start seeing yourself doing things like just visualize the heck out of it. When you're laying in bed, do these things. So then we've all gone down to Perth for Christmas, and then we were supposed to drive over to Adelaide, but we had to fly because there was fires. So we flew over there, and then the whole family, we all went on this tour at the boarding house. So we went to the school, at the boarding house and the school, and because Craig hadn't seen it, and I said to Bernie as he's walking us back to the thing, I said, okay, so when are we going to know? Now this is the 15th of January. And he said, what? Oh, maybe it's the 12th. Anyway, I said, when will we know that Hannah has a spot? And he says, have you got another plan? I said, oh, no. And he's like, okay, right. And I said, so when will we know? And he said, well, there is a waiting list. And I said, yeah, I know that. But like, when will we find out that she's got a place yet? And my kids are just like, oh my God, that is so embarrassing. Is this lady ever going to fucking shut up? You could just see it in their face. And I'm like, no, to hell with you kids. I'm doing this. You want to go? I'm going to help you. And he said, oh, look, school starts the 29th. You'll know on the 29th. And he was getting a little bit like, I said, okay, fine, no worries. And I thought, 29th? School starts on the 29th. I've got to get from Catherine to Adelaide. We don't have winter clothes and stuff like that here. And we got to get uniforms and books and all that. I said, nah, I thought, I need to know a week before. I'd like to know by the 22nd. I didn't say it out loud. I just put it in my head. So we've come back, and I think around the 20th, Hannah goes, do you really think I'm going to be able to go to school, Mum? I said, are you even thinking about packing up? Come on, start packing up your room and stuff and packing up the things that you want to go. She's like, yeah, and then I've got to unpack it. No, don't even go there. Just start putting things together that you'd take with you. On the 22nd, I was on the phone with my friend Jerry, and the screen here, like I used to be over that end, and it's ding, 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 and I'm talking to Jerry, and I'm like, Jerry, just hang on a minute, I've just got to check, like there's all these emails and stuff coming in. This is before the days that I have everything silenced. And lo and behold, there's an email, oh, that's right, I had my phone, I looked at my phone, and there's a message, Polly, check your emails, we can offer Hannah boarding. And I was like, oh, how cool. And so I'm like, Jerry, got to go. Hung up, went into Hannah. I said, I told you to pack your stuff 2 days ago. Get up, we're going to boarding school. She's like, are you for real? Yes. And you know the funny thing though? The room that she was visualizing, we didn't know this until after we got down there, but the room that she was visualizing, there was only 4 of those shapes of rooms out of the 18 apartments or whatever that there are. 4 of them. And she got one of them. And this stuff really does work. And as I was down there, because you come down as a parent and put all their name tags on everything, a man comes up to me, and his daughter is still in this group, I think, Danielle. And he comes up to me, he says, oh, hi, I'm such and such, I can't remember his name anyway. And he says, how are you going? Where are you from? I said, oh, I'm from Catherine. He said, oh, cool. Been on the waiting list long? I'm like, yeah, since December. And he's like, oh, yeah, righto. So, like, good 12 months sort of thing. I said, oh no, December, just gone. He's like, are you kidding? I said, no, I'm not. He said, how the hell did you manage this? I said, I don't know, but I use the law of attraction to get whatever I want. He's like, what? Anyway, we've had chats and stuff since, but you can use this for anything that you want, and you always are using it. The picture that you see and the words that come out of your mouth are the most important things. So check your dialogue, check what you talk about, check the conversations that you have, and check what you're speaking, how you're speaking to yourself. Are you talking yourself out of your goal, or are you talking yourself into it? Are you worrying about the how? Like I said yesterday, you have no idea how the universe can give you stuff. And I want to just touch on money here for a moment, because I have a lot of people that want money. But money doesn't come from your job. It comes through your job or through your business or anything like that. And it depends on how much good you are putting out. And it also depends on what your belief is about you with money. Do you believe you're good with money? Because if you don't believe you're good with money, you'll probably stop it from coming in. Do you believe that you can have as much as you like? Or do you believe that it's capped? Like, think about these sorts of things with you. If you think that your money comes on a Thursday on payday, or a Tuesday, or a Wednesday, whatever day your payday is, and it only comes on this day, that's the only way it can come in. if you want more of it, you have to open up to allowing more into it. Just like I just let money come. Money comes to me in an abundance of ways and in an abundance of currencies. Like, it doesn't really matter, because you can change anything. Like, really start to understand it's you are the only problem, but you're also your only solution. And if you can really get a clear picture on what you want, and then spend some time with it each day and feel the energy of the moment that you get it. The moment, I in that visualization, is some of the tactics that I use. It's like, okay, I get to the moment that I've got it. What's my biggest feeling going to be? Mine is going to be gratitude. So then I know I've got to spend more time with gratitude. I've got to do more gratitude. And I've got to make it a daily thing that I get in touch with. If you're going to feel achievement, well, you've got to start to get into achievements. And this is where a win book really helps. You go back and you see how many things you've achieved before, and you go, oh, well, I'm always achieving. This is great. I should always be feeling this great. Not just for a little moment of each day. There's joy. Feeling joy. How often do you feel joy throughout the day? And then I want to say something about owning things. There's this thing, hey, that we have to own all these things. And I got caught up into that for a bit. But what we have, who we are, we don't take anything with us. We just leave and then we come back in and create again. That's my belief anyway. So, like, if we need to be this owner of all these things, are we setting ourselves up to, like, make it harder for ourselves? Just a question there. Do we have to own everything that we want? Or can we just believe that it just comes through and we play with it for a bit and then it goes on its merry way? Like, I think about, and you know, if you're wanting an abundance of something, so maybe you want abundance of love, or you want a abundance of good times or money or whatever it is for you, look in your life and ask yourself, where do I already have abundance? And how does abundance feel? You know, it feels pretty neutral. Like, I have an abundance of clothes. Now, I don't sit in there and say, oh my God, I'm so happy and grateful I've got all these clothes. It's just like, it just is. Just like my name is Polly, I have an abundance of clothes. And that's how you're going to feel, free and easy. It is not going to be some big, glorious thing when you get there. It's going to be like, oh, of course. And you know why? Because you spent so much time there already. You're like, of course it had to happen. I've been doing this. Of course. Now, I use the law of attraction for everything, and I use thinking into results for everything. I think into the results that I want. Like, I've had to rent 2 houses in Adelaide, and I've had people tell me. I even had my last real estate, and he knew how fast I can manifest things, because, like, we looked at a house and online, and Hannah's going, that's it, that's the one. I'm like, cool, no worries, I will set it up. And then I rang him and he's like, it's already under contract. I'm like, oh, okay, like under lease. So then when I got to Adelaide, had to be indoors for 12 hours for COVID, and then rang him up. I rang him back and I said, do you have anything else? He said, you liked the house in Glencore? I said, yeah, Glandor. He says, okay, the contract fell through. Do you want to have a look? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And just rang Hannah. I said, we got the house. She's, how do we do that? How? I don't know. And the last house, my cars, fishing trips, the whole lot. You use this as much as you can. And I just say to people, TIR it, and they're like, well, I'm like, think into the results of it. If you want something, TIR it. And they're like, okay, righto. So I want to just recap, okay, on the things that we've learned. I know we're a little bit early today, but I think you've got a lot in here. Another thing, let go of the past. You can't change it. You've got to be happy about it, because it has got you to where you are right now. Let go of the past. You can't act in the past. You can't do anything about it. You can change the way you think about it, which is a great thing to do, especially if it's like there's some forgiveness that maybe you need to do, or you need to let go of some things, or you need to love yourself a bit more. Like maybe there's that going on, but do the work. Do the work and just go, okay, maybe you could just learn how to look at things a little bit differently. Look at like everything I've taught you. Go to today and just say, what was good about it? Because the world is 95% negative, and if we are not disciplining our minds to look for the positive, it's automatically going to go negative. That's okay though. But after now that you've learnt this, look back in your past and go, what was actually good? Like, I got bullied when I was 14 and I had this awful trick played on me. What was good now for me, like I can't go back and change what was good back there, but what was good now for me is knowing that I had a pretty low self-image. I had a pretty poor opinion of myself, that my self-talk was so degrading, and so I had to change all of that. There was no more poor Polly. I was just like, hey, who are you? Polly Hearn. Yeah, you got Jeffrey blood in you? Yeah, okay, get out there and make something of this. You didn't come into this life to tiptoe through life and make it safely to death and pay some bills along the way. You came here to have fun. You came here to enjoy. You came here to inspire. Get out there and do it. That's how I talk to myself now. But it was pretty low when I was growing up. And we can't act in the future. We can't go to tomorrow, today, and go, I'm going to do some action there. We've got to do it now. It's not like nothing waits for people. It may not flee away, but you like, what's the wrong with it? Like starting now, acting now? Ask yourself, if I knew that any action I do from the energy of my goal is going to be completely correct, what would I take action on today? And even if it doesn't give you the result that you want, it will give you some feedback that you can go, oh, well, let's just tweak that a little bit, and like, oh, that one doesn't work. You will fail your way to success. It's the only way you're going to get there. So number one, you have to know what you want. This is what we've learned in the last 3 days. You have to know what you want. Be clear on it. And you have to know why you want it. And your goal should be for you. Even if you want to manifest a cruise for your husband for his 50th, it's still for you, because you get to go too. And you get to give the gift. That's where I get my biggest charge of energy from, when I give. When I'm giving to somebody and it's a complete surprise to them, I absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. So that's where I get my biggest charge from. But you know, when I manifested that holiday with Craig, I sat here for hours and created a vision book of it to give to him for his birthday. But you know how much I got into the spirit of that, making that book? And then my daughter came and helped me as well, just decorate it up and wrap it up, and she sat up until 11:30 with me. Like, I'm up at 4 a.m. Like, 11:30 is pretty bloody late for me. But for hours, we did this. That is so much work, energetically. You got to know where you are. That's number 2. So I got to know where I am. I got to know what I want and why. Then I have to know where I am now. You think about it. If you put something in a GPS, you just say, take me here, and it doesn't know where you are, how does it even know where to get started? So you've got to know where you are and just plot out the first step. That's all you have to do. Take action and take the first step. Then the next step will come, the next and the next and the next and the next. But if you don't take action on the first one, how's the next step going to come to you? It always will. Then you have to do some belief work. You have to change some of your beliefs, because if you already have the belief system that matched your goal, you'd already have it. So look at some of the beliefs. Your self-talk is a belief. Look at how you talk to yourself. What are the words that you use? Are they the same words you'd be using? Would you be saying to yourself when you got it, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a winner. I am worthy of the good that I desire. I love myself. Say it now. You've got to say it now, like as if you've already got it. Practice gratitude. You can do 10 in the morning, you can do 5 in the morning, 5 at night. You can do 10 5 times throughout the day. You can do 5 times throughout the day. Whatever works for you. If you find that you're getting yourself up and down like a yo-yo throughout the day, make gratitude be the practice that you go to. Okay, I'm feeling frazzled, go and write some gratitude. Feeling like shit, go and write some gratitude. Make it a practice. Sometimes you might not be able to make it because you're driving, so do it in your car. I'm so happy and grateful now that I've got air conditioning in the car. I'm so happy and grateful that I've even got a car. I'm so happy and grateful that I even have a job to go to. I don't know, like come up with some gratitudes. Just get into gratitude. And then create a vision. Create a vision of what you want to achieve, of what you want to manifest. And make it really clear. And when you do the visualization, because I'm expecting you all to do it tonight, because these are such good followers. Like this is what thinking into results is all about, hey? Thinking into result is for leaders, but it's to make people into followers so that they get what they want. And then lead the field is really to turn the followers into leaders, and then they can lead their own way. So when you follow the steps to manifesting, when you follow how the law of attraction works and work in harmony with it, you can have anything you want. There are some things that you're going to have to change though. And so making visualization and seeing things through your eyes. And there's some things that you can do. So say, it's probably not the best example because like my husband, he wants a Maserati. He went to the Maserati shop and got a picture of himself in the car. And so he can see it through his own eyes. And then he's also got a picture of him sitting in the car so he can put that on his vision board. Well, I went to do that in Porsche, but then I ended up ordering the car. So I got a whole portfolio of it and I got pictures of myself too. And I even sat in the car and started it up. Well, I wasn't allowed to start it up. I had to sit in the passenger seat, but I heard it. And so then anytime I was feeling down and thinking, oh my God, how is this ever going to happen? Because there were some challenges that went through there, but I am so grateful for all of them because it's really helped me believe in the law of attraction and in myself and in how quickly I can do things. Because I just would sit there and I had coffee with some friends in Adelaide too, and they're like, I went and sat in this Porsche yesterday and I ordered one. They're like, what, you did what? I'm like, yeah, I don't know how the hell I'm going to pay for it, but anyway, it's there, it's coming, it'll be there in, I don't know, it took 9 months for them to build it, but I would just sit there and go boom, 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 and because that's what that car sounds like well, it sounds way better than that, but you start that car up, because it's got a key in it, and it stays in there, you can't take the key out, but you start that thing up and it just goes boom, 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 boom. I would just do that, like I was sitting in the car, just close my eyes, boom, 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 boom. And yeah, it might be something that I looked a bit crazy sometimes. Who really gives a shit? I'm driving it. It's in my driveway. I said that to one of my nephews once. I said, it took me 47 years to get this. And they're like, it took you 47 years though. You did it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, great way to look at it. So never discount yourself. We have a tendency to do that, to not shine. Get out there, shine. All right, telephone. So today's winner gets a pack of my affirmation cards and a journey to success. I'm really, really sorry about the comments not working, and I can't even see how many people are here. If somebody can see how many people are there, maybe you can write it in the chat for me so then I know. Tonight, oh look, somebody's got an abundance of Woolies shopping bags. That's so good. 15, awesome, thank you very much. All right, so those of you watching the replay, make sure you get into the energy and make sure you comment along the way. And even if you don't even have to put hashtag replay, I don't know what that even means anyway, it's just something that we did. But just play along. Keep the comments, like comment as I ask questions, and if it's yes, say yes. If it's no, say no. If you find a cognition, because if you just keep it up here, your paradigm will make you forget. This is why we have to have a win book. I bet those of you that have a win book that have been working with me and you have one, if you went back through that win book, you'd be like, oh my God, I forgot all about that. Holy shit, I did that too and I forgot about that. Your paradigm forgets. It'll like, no, can't let her get too high up there, because then we don't know how to interact with people. And our brain goes, we get a little bit scared. So get a win book. Start to look at all the things that you have done amazingly. This is why in this affirmation it says here, I can see success all around me from what I have created. Get a win book and read it. And I bet any of you that have one, go and read your win book today and write a post, even if it's just in the chat. I don't care if it's in the chat or something, but I just want you to have the cognitions. If you don't put pen to paper, and blue pen, white paper, the best thing that you can ever do for yourself. Because if you use a black pen, we use black pens when we identify with governments and banks and stuff like that. If you use a blue pen, you're identifying as yourself. There's just something about blue pen, white paper. You should be doing it. Anyhow, there's my little rant for the day. I hope you've enjoyed today, everybody. Somebody's been trying to ring me from New Zealand. That's good. Now, we have 55. Well done, everybody. Well done. And it's not just like all the same people. There's a whole cross-section of yous all. Well done. Hey, Siri. Can I please have a random number between 1 and 55? The number is 40. Oh, Michelle Robinson. Good job. Congratulations. You finally get one of my books. This is awesome. We will get these out to you next week. Beautiful Valentina will come around and be my little fairy and send them all off for me next week, because I won't be here. Because on Sunday, I go down to Perth, and then I get to go to Karratha, and then I get to go to Adelaide, and then I get to go to Tassie, and then I come back to Adelaide, and then I come back to Catherine. Darwin and then Catherine. So that's what my next month looks like. Always full of things to do. And it's what I created. I want to be able to travel and work from anywhere. That has been my biggest goal. And to be able to do that and travel around the world anywhere that I want and not have to worry about things getting done, because I always have a great team behind me in either company. I always have supportive people, and I always attract them to me. And you can have it all too. Because what I want for me, I also want for you. So whatever your goal is, I want it for you. And if you let us, we'll help you get it. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. See you all. Bye-bye.